Right. Hello, everyone. I'm Kamil. I'm one of the co-founders and CTO for Starburst. Starburst is the Presto company, and we invest heavily in the open source community and the project. So really happy to be here with you. Okay, so my presentation today is about Presto as a fast SQL-on-Anything engine. And I would like to discuss how it allows you to query data across your data lake and our DBMS that you may have, as well as NoSQL data stores. And we'll give you some great examples and use cases you can apply here. So for those who are new to Presto, although I know there are many Presto-related talks at this conference, I would just briefly say, it's a high-performance SQL engine. MPP scales to hundreds of machines. It's interactive SQL and proven at high concurrency. And it was built on this idea that there's separation of compute and storage, which is really playing very nicely with cloud environments today. So you can deploy it in the cloud and put data in object storage and scale up and down compute as needed to really have a cost-effective analytics. But also means it can talk to multiple different storage engines via connectors, which allows federated queries, as we'll see in this presentation. Because of this architecture, it actually lends itself very nicely to being deployed anywhere, whether that's on premises, in traditional on bare metal environments, as well as in Kubernetes, and in the cloud, like at AWS, Azure, and GCP. It's very flexible in the way you can get that deployed. And being an open source project is a large open source community that many participants are contributing to the project and advancing it and testing at various use cases. So a little bit about Starburst. So Starburst was formed about 3 years ago. It's basically the crew that started contributing heavily to the project over 5 years ago. We are open source startup of this year, and also expanding very rapidly and have over 100 customers right now. And we serve them with our offering, our platform, which obviously has Presto at its core, but also has a number of enhancements to allow you to easily deploy it and run at massive scale and get you the value out of Presto much more quickly. All of this is wrapped in the enterprise security, enhanced connectivity, and expert support from both the creators of the project that a year ago joined us, Martin, Dane, and David, and many other top contributors to the project. Over the last 3 years, we actually signed up a very impressive lineup of customers, and this slide is always out of date because almost every week we have a new customer joining our family. But we serve large tech companies like Slack, GrabHub, Tesla, many financial companies, Bank of America, DBS, Finra, and retail companies like Overstock, Zalando, and media telco companies, Comcast, Verizon, healthcare companies, and many others. So we serve them in many different interesting use cases. Our platform, as I mentioned, centers around Presto, which is then enhanced with impressive security integrations like Ranger, Sentry, Okta, and obviously LDAP Kerberos, and allows you to mask data and control access in a fine-grained manner. We are adding additional connectors to our lineup so that you can connect to IBM DB2, Oracle, Snowflake, Greenplum, and many others. One of the great connectors that we are going to discuss today is Delta Lake, and it's coming from Databricks. All of this obviously is allowing people to connect via their favorite BI tools like Tableau, Looker, Power BI, and Qlik, and many others. For JDBC and DBC interfaces, you can consume it via Python and other language bindings. So it's really allowing you to flexibly issue SQL statements to this MPP powerful engine that will then allow to access data from anywhere, whether that's data in the same environment, some data centers, or maybe it's you're accessing your on-prem data from cloud environments, or the other way around. So it really allows you to drive this hybrid federated analytics in a very easy to consume manner. So I mentioned Delta Lake is a very important new feature for us, introduced earlier this year. Delta Lake is basically an enhancement of a traditional data lake, but providing asset compliance properties. So you are able to run this as an open source project. It's coming from Databricks, and access your Parquet files and modify them and delete individual rows and act as if it was a classic database storage, but it is stored in the object storage, and allows you to, offers you schema evolution, time travel, and comes with metadata and statistical information that helps you drive the best performance via data skipping and z-ordering. So that is available for pretty much any cloud right now. And what we invested in heavily is a native Delta reader, which basically written from scratch, optimizes and reads directly from the Delta transactional log, supports advanced data skipping and filtering, and leverages statistics that was saved in those metadata to really bring the performance, the I/O performance to the next level. And when we developed this native reader, we were really very impressed with the speedups that you can get on top of just S3 and Parquet. So in some of the benchmarks, we actually saw a performance boost of up to 6x because of this optimized data patterns, data access patterns. Now, Delta Lake is a great way to store your data in object storage, whether that's ADLS or S3. However, we do believe that you may still have data in other places. So in some cases, it will be Snowflake, others it will be Oracle, Teradata, Redshift, or something else, BigQuery, for example. And we also think that you may have semi-structured data like your weblogs in Elasticsearch. And what if you want to drive analytics across all of them, right? And this is where Presto can be very powerful because it allows you to drive those federated queries and apply common security structure and really get you the most benefits of just running the analytics rather than waiting for all the data to be in one place, which is not very often the case. So Presto really allows you to act as a data consumption layer and drive analytics across all those different data sources. And you can plug in your favorite BI tool or SQL editor or a notebook and basically leverage the power of the distributed SQL engine and really analyze data where it lives today. Right? So in this particular case, and the use case is that you may have your IoT data that's stored in your Delta Lake. You may have say customer information stored in a data warehouse in Snowflake in this example, and then your weblog informations that are in Elasticsearch, right? So in this one particular query that we see on the screen, you can construct a join between those. You can introduce a subquery and basically get the power of bringing all the data from different corners of your organization together and drive the interesting insights. And you can, at some point productize this and save it into materialized view and introduce some abstraction layer. So in the future, you don't need to expose all the sort of details of where data lives, but it's really powerful for this investigative analytics. So with that, I thank you very much for having me here. I encourage you to try Presto if you haven't already. We offer a free distribution of Presto from Starburst. You can get it at this link above. Thank you very much.